Hello everyone, hope you're doing well. Today we are back looking at a devblog for the Drone Age update, and this is for the Rooivalk, specifically the Rooivalk Mk1F CSH. This is going to be a South African helicopter which is going to be coming into the game. It's going to be in the British tech tree though, and also at rank 6. One of the interesting things about this one is that it is a store premium, but it is actually not going to be on the store until the release of the Drone Age update. So what this usually means is the fact that the Drone Age update is soon upon us, is the way to put it. We had a look at the Rooivalk on the dev server. It was nowhere near finished, only the general model was there, not all of the bells and whistles. So luckily the devblog can clarify some of that stuff for us. Let's get into the history of this vehicle. The combat experience gained by the South African Air Force during the conventional phase of the South African border war revealed the need for a dedicated attack helicopter designed specifically to destroy enemy tanks. The NATO arms embargo forced South Africa to start its own research programs to create this type of helicopter, along with its own helicopter industry as a whole. Two parallel programs were initiated to develop helicopter production technologies, one based on the SA-326B Alouette 3, the airframe, engine and propeller, and the second based on the SA-330J Puma for its avionics and weapons. In 1990, after 4 years of development and testing, the first experimental prototype of the attack helicopter Rooivalk, Afrikaans for Red Kestrel, took to the skies. A completely domestic South African attack helicopter with avionics, electronics, sighting system, and world-class weapons. An advanced prototype, modified to the requirements of the US Army with perspectives for possible export, was presented to the public at an airshow in Dubai in 1993, and a year later, the helicopter was bidding for the British Ministry of Defence tender. As for the internal need of South Africa, an ordered series of 12 aircraft began entering service in 1998. During this time, continuous research and technological improvements were applied. A large-scale upgrade was undertaken as the Rooivalk Mk1 program, which included 130 improvements during the construction stage of the first 6 helicopters. Of the 12 Rooivalk Mk1 CSH, or combat support helicopter units, were produced, 11 are currently in service, with the SAAF 16th Squadron in Bloemfontein. So the Rooivalk is coming in with a ton of really cool features in it. The main one for me is actually its flight power or engine power. This thing is powered by 2 Turbomeca Makila 1K2 turboshaft engines. This means that it actually has a top speed of over 300 kilometers an hour and also has strafe speeds that exceed 90 kilometers an hour. It can also be able to go a higher hovering height than pretty much all the other helicopters in the game. So in terms of speed and in terms of altitude, this thing should not really be surpassed, which is pretty cool. The internal systems, it has a fully digital computer with 2 MFDs in the cockpit, and also the pilot's visor has access to night vision and a thermal imager, which should be present in the game, and the actual nose turret, the 20mm GI2 cannon, is synchronized with the position of the visor as well, so it shoots where the pilot is looking, which is pretty awesome. Or where the gunner is looking, either. The helicopter also has 6 hardpoints on it, so this one will actually be able to carry more than a lot of the other helicopters in the game. The actual outer pylons will have Mistral air-to-air missiles on it, which are of course all aspect missiles. These Mistrals are pretty powerful. They are quite nice to use, and overall should be quite nice. It can also carry 4 hardpoints worth of air-to-ground ordnance, so it can carry stuff like rockets, some 70mm ones, or it can carry a new ATGM, which is coming into the game, the ZT6 Makopa. Now this is a tandem warhead ATGM, and the Rooivalk, along with the air-to-air missiles, can carry up to 16 of them. So it's going to be fully loaded and ready for action. And also only rank 6 instead of rank 7. So I'm wondering what the downside of this thing is going to be, since the Rooivalk looks like it's kitted out to be quite good. Now remember, when it comes to the Rooivalk, if you actually want access to it, you're going to have to wait until the update comes out. The update might come out next week, it might come out the week after, but it's pretty close to coming out at some point. Also, the other thing to note about the Rooivalk, because it's going to be rank 6, it's going to be useful to research the whole of the British tech trees. So if you want access to the Mk1, or the AH1 I should say, or even stuff such as the other vehicles that are around the place, instead of going through the scout and stuff, you can use the Rooivalk. This thing also will be good in specific lineups, obviously the challenges and everything that you can bring it in with, which will be quite nice. And also at the same time, having more South African representation in the game is fantastic. All of the South African vehicles, bar a very small amount, I have really enjoyed playing. The Ratel 20 I didn't really enjoy playing at all, but pretty much all the rest of them have been fantastic. I wish the Rooivalk MTTD had a machine gun on it, I wish the TTD had a machine gun on it, but apart from that, they've all been really fun to play. And just to have more of these vehicles and more nations which are not seen as the major nations in the game is fantastic. That's why I want to see more Hungarian vehicles, I want to see more Romanian vehicles. I would love to see modified vehicles from different countries. You know, we had a look at the Oplot earlier in the year. It would be fantastic to see something like that in the game. And now that the Rooivalk's coming, even though it's coming as a premium, it's still really nice to see. And I hope going forward, with machines like this, we just see more of them over the time. And I hope people who like helicopters will enjoy this. Right now, without obviously fully testing it, it's looking really nice. You know, it has really good armaments on it, it has really good flight characteristics, and it also has a really good set of, you know, kind of electronics, I suppose you'd class it as in War Thunder, like mechanics behind it. So it's looking like the whole package, which is wonderful. And also, since we have a few different variants of the Rooivalk, this doesn't mean that players who don't buy this might in the future not get access to a Rooivalk. They might put a standard one in the British tech tree, which would be really cool to see as well. So this is a huge update for helicopters. You got all the Chinese helicopters coming in, you've got the Italians getting their own premium helicopter again, the T129, then you've got the Rooivalk coming in for the British, which is super cool. The only one that is still kind of missing and still kind of out there right now is of course the Americans, who still don't have a premium after the P10 was removed. So the real question is, what is going on with that one? Where is it going to be? What is going to happen? Maybe the Cheyenne, maybe something else, who knows? Maybe even that Greek Apache, which was found, or at least the camo for it, was found a few updates ago. Who knows? Everything's kind of up in the air. His helicopters with the new PvE mode as well means that more people can enjoy it, more people can have fun, and that is always something which is fantastic to see. As always, I hope you have a wonderful day, and I'll see you next time. I'd just like to thank Nicholas Richardson, Elove Goat, Pyman675, Winter Scientist, Merciless Reaper, Jerry Prevolt, Megadino King, Orange Tail, Teddy, John Ryman, Universe, Ambrosius McClellan, Daniel Stanton, Moxie, B. Young, Uncle Bean, Sem Arslan, Derek R., Bareen, Lafouche, and Samuel Slick for supporting the channel.